Welcome to the Child Care Director's Chair, the podcast for bold educators who are ready to lead, grow, and shake things up in early childhood education. Whether you're a teacher eyeing that lead role, a lead stepping into leadership, or a center owner dreaming big, this is your space to grow with purpose and leave your mark. Hosted by heart-centered leadership coach Erica Sacoccio, each episode brings you real talk, actionable tools, and a contagious laugh or two, all designed to help you step into your next level with confidence. So pour your coffee, pop in those earbuds, and take your seat, because your leadership journey starts right now in the Child Care Director's Chair.
Hey guys, it's Erica here, and you are tuned in to the Child Care Director's Chair podcast. Today I'm recording from my home, and so you might hear little noises in the background. That would just be my family. And you know what? They bring me such joy, and so do all of you. And today's episode is called All In, Spreading Joy and Engagement Across Your Team. But before we dive in, I'm excited to remind you that I'll be heading to Tennessee next week to speak at the National Child Care Association and NAPCA National Leadership Conference from March 19th to the 21st at the one and only Peabody Hotel with those cute little ducks. So if you haven't grabbed your ticket yet, now is the time. And if you already have, be sure to go into your WOVA app, sign up for my session, Sparking Joy in Your Team and Creating a Culture of Fun and Engagement. Now, before I go a little further about our episode, if you are already signed up for the conference, don't forget to hit up my girls, Kate and Carrie, or Rashawn. There are so many great speakers, but if you don't know Kate and Carrie, you should. If you don't know Rashawn, you should. So get in the room with those ladies. You will have a great time. So talk about joy. Those ladies make me laugh and smile all of the time. They're amazing friends. And I'd love to do that invite. I'd love to invite you to go see their session as well. So today's episode, we're going to dig a little deeper into not just fun, but what joy really is, why it matters, and how you can genuinely engage your team on that deeper level. You know, joy at work isn't a bonus, it's the foundation. And when your team experiences genuine joy, it creates psychological safety, increases engagement, and strengthens relationships that make high-quality early childhood programs thrive. What joy truly is and why it matters, well, joy isn't just laughter and high-energy moments, although we do talk about those in yesterday's episode and the day prior. But it is sustained emotional experience tied to meaning, connection, and fulfillment. Psychologist Barbara Fredrickson, a leading expert on positive emotions, defines joy as an emotion that broadens our awareness and builds lasting personal resources. In her research, she explains that joyful experiences ignite an upward spiral towards emotional well-being and resilience. And this is essential in early childhood programs because when educators feel joy, not just fun, they are more creative, collaborative, and resilient. And according to a Gallup research, teams with high engagement levels, which include all aspects of joy and meaning, see 41% lower absenteeism, because we all know those callouts are real, 17% higher productivity, and 24% higher profitability in other sectors. And in education, these translate into strong instructional quality, better teacher retention, and more positive classroom climates. Quote from the British poet C.S. Lewis captures this essence of joy beautifully. Joy is the serious business of heaven. And in leadership, joy is not frivolous. It's that foundation. And it signals that people feel valued, connected, and generally invested in the work that they do. And that definitely matters in early childhood education. You know, engagement beyond the classroom, because that isn't where it ends. Engagement starts with teachers feeling connected to the children that they serve and are confident in their craft. When educators see the impact of their work, boy, not just the lesson plans, but the daily growth of the children, their sense of purpose grows. And purpose, well, that fuels joy. And to foster continued, genuine classroom engagement, they have to be happy. So provide opportunities for your teachers to shape the curriculum, the lesson sequences, the thematic units, rather than only delivering them, but have them have a bigger part. Create spaces for teachers to reflect on student successes with peers, real wins, not just plate spinning. Invite the teachers to co-design classroom environments that reflect their teaching styles and the developmental needs of children. Joy increases when ownership and autonomy are present. When teachers feel that they have a voice in the design and decision making, well, their engagement is going to deepen. I don't want the teachers to feel like they're a visitor in the program. We want them to feel like it's their program, it's their classroom. They need that autonomy. Of course, you're going to have your vision and your philosophy, and they're certainly aware of that. Hopefully, if you did a great job in your onboarding and hiring, they should, have a good essence of what that is, but then let them make it their own. And creating program-wide connections and shared purpose. Because true joy is social. It's not something that an individual will experience in isolation. I've never seen a place where a work climate was horrible and everybody was miserable, and then just one person was walking down the hallways singing la 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 la. Like, that doesn't happen. It has to be immersive. And when that happens and we feel safe, we feel seen, we feel connected within the group. So social engagement theories tell us that humans are wired for connection. When we experience joy with others, our brains release dopamine, that feel-good feeling, the trust hormone. This neurological response isn't just pleasant. It strengthens teamwork, productivity, communication, and collaboration. So let's harness that social energy. Build that collaborative learning team where teachers work on shared goals, whether it's literacy engagement across classrooms, a family outreach project, or just a playful summer curriculum. I mean, summer is just around the corner. Now, who doesn't love summer more than a teacher? I know I do. And create those celebrations where the milestones are a big deal, not just as performative gestures, but intentional recognition of effort, creativity, and impact. Host monthly joy jams, informational gatherings where staff share something that brought them joy in their work that week. Doesn't that sound fun, guys? A joy jam. When's the last time you had a joy jam? Actually, I think we're going to have a joy jam in my session up in Tennessee. These practices, they are anchors for engagement and meaningful connection, not just activities. And when those negative Nellies and those negative attitudes get in the way, well, we're going to talk about that because we're going to be real. Not all attempts at fun are going to land well. And sometimes the negativity creeps in. A staff member who tries to be fun might unintentionally dampen the energy if it feels forced, dismissive, or unauthentic. This is when leadership matters the most. So instead of discouraging their enthusiasm outright, invite them into the creative process. Ask them to help, ask them to plan, rather than simply perform. Know what genuine joy really looks like. One rooted in meaning, choice, and shared impact. And set clear norms for positive engagement. Joy shouldn't exclude or make someone uncomfortable. When teams know that fun isn't about a distraction or superficial, it's about that connection and mutual support, even the skeptical staff will begin to participate because they see the impact and engagement through movement and meaning. So today's sponsor is Active Alphabet, which fits beautifully into the deeper understanding of joy and engagement. It's a phonics system that gets students moving, connecting literacy learning with physical engagement in ways that are meaningful and joyful for both the children and the teachers. And we all know movement releases energy. It boosts moods and it fosters shared experiences that deepen engagement. By integrating movement into daily learning, staff don't just teach, they actively participate in joy with their learners. And that's what engagement looks like. Teachers and children are moving, they're laughing, they're learning, and they're growing together. And we're so excited to have them as one of our sponsors at the Early Childhood Empowerment Conference coming up this May. If you don't have your tickets, I highly suggest you hop on over to the website and take a look. Now, how do we sustain joy through daily rhythms and rituals? Well, joy is not seasonal and it's not a one-time event. It's a rhythm that you create. So you start each day with a short, reflective prompt that invites staff to name something positive or meaningful, no matter how small. And sometimes, those negative people, they will find the thing to complain about. So here's a perfect example. Daylight savings happened today. This is pre-recorded. So it happened today, And I heard some folks, really, I should say seen, some folks on Facebook were complaining that they lost an hour. And I'm thinking, they were saying, oh, I got to go in an hour early to work, da-da-da. I'm thinking, what a blessing that we get to get out an hour earlier while it's still light, where we can enjoy time with our family and our friends, right? Because in the winter, especially if you live in New England, by the time you leave in the dark, you come home in the dark, you don't even feel like you had a day. And so to me, it's those little things. Those are the things that bring me joy. Being able to go outside and watch my grandson ride a bike, or sit on the deck with my husband and listen to the birds, or just have a chat with a friend, whether it's a friend inside work or outside of work, or a colleague. But just start each day with something that's reflective, that invites some thought around the things that make us happy, and then end each weekly team meeting with a highlight or a joy moment that staff experience with children, families, or colleagues. And create simple rituals like gratitude circles, victory shout-outs, a fun Fridays. You can even add some facts. Maybe a Friday fun fact day where staff share something they learned or enjoyed. These routines reinforce the culture of joy because they teach your team to look for good moments and create them intentionally. So as we wrap up today, joy is much more than fun. It's a culture of meaning, connection, and engagement. It's shaped by intentional leadership, shared purpose, authentic collaboration, and everyday wins. And when your team experiences genuine joy, classrooms come alive, educators stay longer, and children flourish with consistency. Engage adults who love them and love what they do. So if you are attending the NCCA and NAPCA conference in Tennessee, I'll see you there. Make sure you grab your WOVA app, sign into my session, Sparking Joy in your team, and creating a culture of fun and engagement. I can't wait to connect with you. And I'm sorry I'm laughing. Daniel, come on over and say hello. My grandson is bopping around the kitchen here. Say hey to everybody.
Hi.
Yeah, we're talking about joy, Danny. What makes you happy?
My family.
Your family?
You guys.
Yeah, you make us happy too. All right, say see you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow.
That's it for the Child Care Directors Chair podcast. Thank you for tuning in and have a great day.
That's a wrap for this episode of the Child Care Director's Chair, where we believe leaders aren't born, they're grown. If something sparked for you today, share it, shout it out, or pass it along to the next bold changemaker in childcare. Don't forget to subscribe, leave a review, and stay connected with Erica Sakosio for more real talk leadership tools and a whole lot of inspiration. Until next time, lead with heart, grow with fire, and always remember, the chair is yours. Now own it.